How can you grow a business if you don't know where you are? Welcome back to Number Compass, where we use numbers for direction and to reveal your next steps to growing your business. Hi, it's Candus, and this is kind of a bonus episode, something that's near and dear to my heart, and one of the things that's made a huge difference in my business, and something I want to share with you. Because I think that a lot of entrepreneurs, business owners, and even team members do this at times, but I definitely think this is an entrepreneur thing, and I thought it could help you. Are you ready? Let's dive in. So years ago, a little history. I guess I'll start here. A little history about me. Like, how did I get into QuickBooks and some of the things that happened to me? So back in 2014-ish, my son was 3. I went to my husband. I'm like, I really want to change people's lives. I had already been teaching QuickBooks since 2006. And I'm like, I want to do something online. And he said to me, well, you know what I would do if I was you? I would just teach QuickBooks. And I was like, I want to change people's lives though. I want to impact them. I healed myself naturally with changing my diet and my thoughts and things. And I was like, that's what I wanted to do. I really want to make an impact in the world. And my husband's like, yeah, but you know QuickBooks. Why don't you just do that? And I was like, all right, fine. Which is funny now when I look back at it. But it made this like hesitation in me because I felt like I was doing something because someone else recommended it and not something I wanted to do. And maybe you've been at that place in your business. And if so, then episode is totally for you. But this is the thing. I was hesitant. I had grown my business, but only to a certain level. And I remember going to my business coach, who's become a great friend of mine now. But I went to him and I said, I slightly resent my husband. Truth. I resent my husband because I'm doing a business that's not my purpose. And through some exercises and like talking through it, I realized like, no, this was my purpose the entire time. The entire time I was meant to teach QuickBooks. I just didn't see how I could bring like two pieces of myself together. And so there was a part of me that wanted to grow my business, wanted to help more people, but I also didn't because I didn't feel it was the right alignment. So I call this like the foot on my gas and the foot on the brake at the same time. And if you've been feeling that way, like you want to grow your business, but you're hesitant to because something about it isn't right, then this is my tip for you. Find the thing that makes you unique. Find the thing that makes you who you are. And one of the things I always knew about myself is that even though I teach QuickBooks, that's very like analytical, right? This other side of me existed. It was the inspirational side. It's the piece of me that you probably have noticed and seen. And initially I thought, well, how can I teach QuickBooks? I'm not a CPA. I'm not a tax professional. I've taken college classes. I know accounting and I've helped a lot of people, but maybe they don't want to learn from me because I don't have this thing that I think that they want. But what I really loved was always inspiration. And so the moment that I combined the two, I started pulling inspirational thoughts. I started sharing from a place of like intuition and guidance on my coaching calls, in my programs, in my videos that I do for you guys, even somewhat in this podcast. Like when I stepped into who I really am, everything in my business changed. And that isn't easy. Like that can sound easy when I say it, but the truth is it wasn't easy other than me choosing it. And once I did, everything changed. Because one of the things I started doing was pulling a thought of the day at the beginning of all of my workshops, at the beginning of all of my live calls. And I do that because it connects both sides of myself. The part that loves to teach you QuickBooks, but the bigger part that loves to make a change in your life. And so I thought we'd just do one today. You want to while we're here? If you're listening to this, you won't get to see it, but you can always watch these episodes on YouTube. And if you're here on YouTube, hello. Let me know how you're liking this. Please leave a comment. Email me if you're listening to it through the podcast app, support@candacekamfer.com. But I'd love to know, like, what about you is unique? What is the thing that maybe has been holding you back from growing your business that you realize that if you encompassed it, if you brought the whole complete part of you, you would love it more? I want to know. Please tell me. So I'm going to pull from the Life Loves You deck. This is Louise Hay and Robert Holden. And this is actually something I've been thinking about starting to do some videos like once a week on like what's the thought of the week. That's also something you think would be cool. Please tell me because it will encourage and inspire me to just put on my big girl pants and do the things I love doing. And that's the thing about entrepreneurship is we get these inspired ideas, but we don't know how to execute them because it's like maybe not traditional. But guess what? Pulling an inspirational deck and teaching QuickBooks isn't, but it's who I am and it's what makes me special. And hopefully the thing you love maybe most about me is that I'm not dry and boring and all the things some of the other people who teach QuickBooks are. But whenever I do my coaching calls, whenever I do my live calls, it's where I feel like I'm most alive and brings me joy and allowed me to take the foot off the gas and the brake and really grow my business to a 7-figure business, to be able to help more people, to be able to impact more, to show up in a way that's truly authentic to myself. All right. Are you ready? Let's pull it up. What are we meant to hear today? This is so fun. I want to do it more. I want to do it more. Love is my teacher is our thought. Think of someone you care for deeply. Ask love to show you how to make your relationship sweeter and more loving. So this is really interesting. You know, even though you might be thinking, okay, how does that relate back to business? How does that relate to QuickBooks? It always does. You just have to be open to receiving it. And this is the thing. There are people in our lives that often got us to where we are. And I feel like taking the time to show gratitude and appreciation to those people can be a game changer. And that's one of the things that I encourage people to do, even in QuickBooks or in life or in business, is to slow down and think about, one, your relationship with yourself. How can you be kind to yourself? Not say mean things. Whenever we're on live classes and people are like, I should have already known this. Why didn't I? Blah, blah, blah. All this mean conversation. It's no, I didn't wake up knowing QuickBooks. It's something I had to learn. And if you didn't just automatically know this, you didn't get born knowing accounting, that's okay. You don't have to be good at numbers. I had dyslexia as a kid, but yet I still teach QuickBooks because I used my gifts to teach it differently, right? So being loving, being kind to yourself, I think is a big thing. And that to me, this is what this card means. Let love be your teacher. Let yourself be kind, but also be open to learning something new. And then when you're teaching somebody else or when you're helping someone else, be loving to them too. Because that is huge about how I've created my community is we have community for our different programs and people ask questions. They're like, this is different. Nobody's mean when I ask a question. I don't have to be an expert. I can be where I am and get support. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please let me know by reaching out. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. We're going to be talking about the lens with which you make decisions and how you can use QuickBooks to give you details and data through different features and functions that you may not be using, something I love to teach. And thank you for hanging out with me. I'll see you in the next episode of Number Compass. And if you want support in learning how to optimize QuickBooks for your business, if you're thinking that's the kind of teacher and trainer I want to have by my side, join me on my Customizing QuickBooks workshop. You can always save your seat at candacekamfer.com/class. And remember, use what makes you unique to take your foot off of the brake and add it to the gas so you can take your business to whatever next level you are looking for. I look forward to seeing you soon. Have an amazing day. Bye.